All right, so still on lesson 12, now where we're discussing the conversation between Swad and Albin. So we have this woman هذه الفتاة, who is this young girl, okay, التي معك. This is التي اسم الموصول. We'll talk about that. Is a different topic where we're going to be discussing that. الموصول. So التي is one of the Ma'rifa. We said we have 7 kinds of Ma'rifa, 7 categories of Ma'rifa. التي and الذي اسم الموصول is one of them. So أهي أختك, is she your sister? Okay, so we have that. Is she your sister? We have that. Now, so the response is لا هي بنت عمي. بنت عمي, what do you call that in English? بنت عمي, my uncle's daughter. My uncle's daughter is who to me? Yes, bintu ammi, my uncle's daughter is who? We are not responding. The
Is
daughter
it
of
a
my,
niece?
I don't think so. So, still cousins. I think you call whether the son or your daughter, the daughter of your uncle are your cousins, right? So nephews and niece are the daughter and the son of your own brother or your own sister. When they are from your uncles or aunties, they are all cousin. Am I right? Whether daughter or sons. So bintu Ammi says she's my cousin. All right, so please let's take it up. So I'm trying to analyze this because sometimes if you want to say she's my cousin in Arabic and you start looking for what is the word for cousin. So this is what you say. Sometimes what you look for to express yourself in Arabic is even in your own hand. You know it. But if you don't know how to make use of it, then you start racking your brain and see whether you do. So this is what it is. La hiya bintu ammi, she's my uncle's daughter. So which means she's my cousin. So please let's know. That's why I keep asking some of these questions. Masmuha, okay. Masmuha, what's her name? Ismuha Fatima too. Her name is Fatima. Okay. So Sister Fatima, Sister Mutia, can you read this? Yeah.
Iya
Yeah.
zami zamilatuki.
Barakallah fi ahiyya, not ahiyya. So this is what I'm trying to get at. The pronunciation. Ahiyya. Barakallah fi. You are improving a lot better. Barakallah fi. So you see, this is what participating in class, reading and participating, this is what it does to you. It makes you improve every time. Ahiyya zamilatuk. Is she your mate? Yeah? Is she your mate? Is that right? That is she your mate in school? Okay. Now, so the response, لا أنا في المدرسة المتوسطة. أنا في المدرسة المتوسطة وهي في المدرسة الثانوية. Meaning they are not mate. أنا في المدرسة المتوسطة. I am in the middle school. Yeah. And she's in the high school or the secondary school. Is that it? Now, we talked about in few lessons ago, we talked when you're talking about something important like brother, sister, something related to you by blood, human being, you use li. And for other than that, you use inda. And I think I explained when you can use inda for brothers of something important, something that has life, something rational. So I think we still remember the usage. Okay, so now I like ukhtun. Do you have a brother? Do you have a sister? Yeah? Do you have a sister? Now she said لا مالي أخت. لا مالي أخت. since I have to I read it myself because we are not really very active. So, but just to save time, I have to do that. So, but once in a while, I've asked Sister Mupia to read. Okay, so please get ready. Now, لا ما لي أخت. Look at the way we use ma. They have used ma, this ma, in one single way. We can use ma. We have several ways of using this ma. We have several types of it. Now, what we use it here for is الناهية النافية ما النافية. Okay, so it's for negation in this case. ما ما لي أخت. I have no sister. That's the meaning. Using ما, that's what you. So ما عندي كتاب. ما عندي سيارة. So ما لي, use that word to ما لي أخت. I have no sister. ألك أخ. Do you have a brother? نعم لي أخ كبير وهو طالب بالجامعة. Yes, I have a big brother and he is a student in the Jamia, in the university. ومن هذا الطفل الذي معك. Look at the way they use الذي elsewhere. So I'm going to explain in lesson 20. We're going to be talking about الذي and the rest of it and the way you can use it properly in our grammar lesson. So, but let's take note of the way it is used here. All right. It is al-mawsul. Okay. It is اسم الموصول. So it's you use it to connect between two words, and it's usually go with the ma'rif because they say ma'rifa. ومن هذا الطفل الذي معك. Who is this little child with you, right? هو ابن أخي. He is my brother's son. My brother's son is who to me? My brother's son is who? How do you say that? My brother's son. So nephew, right?
Nephew.
Thank you. So please, this is the way Arabic does not necessarily have a particular word for nephew or something like that. So you say Ibn Akhi. That's all you say. And I think that's how we say it too in most of our own native languages. Okay. So especially Yoruba. So that's how we say it. And I think that's how it is in Hausa too for those who understand Hausa here. So Ibn Akhi. Okay, so Masmuhu, what's his name? Ismuhu Sa'd. Okay, his name is Sa'd. أأمك في البيت الآن. أأمك في البيت الآن. Now الآن, this word الآن دائما لحقته حرف لام. دائما is always attached to alif lam. If it is going to have the meaning of a ظرف ظرف الزمان. ظرف الزمان is an adverb of time. الآن. Yeah, but the moment you remove this alif lam, it becomes a verb. Ana. Okay, ana. But al-ana, is always like that, which means now. And ana is equal to the verb hana, meaning it's time. Ana waqtu salah. The time of salah is right. The time of salah is now. Ana. So, but with the alif lam, it will mean now. Okay, so we all know that. أأمك في البيت الآن. Is your mother at home now? Okay, so and then we say لا ذهبت إلى المستشفى. جملة فعلية. ذهبت إلى المستشفى. She's gone to the hospital. Okay, so that's what we have there. She's gone to the hospital. Okay. Now we have this. We are supposed to read this. اقرأ واكتب. Please, let's go read ourselves. كيف حالك يا أبي؟ كيف حالك يا أمي؟ أين ابنك يا زينب؟ ذهب إلى المسجد. أين بنتك يا آمنة؟ ذهبت إلى الدين. So please, let's try to read that. This one is for us to practice reading. Okay, because of our time, we'll just probably go off this. But please, let's do the reading ourselves. Sister Mutia, do you understand that? You got to do the reading, and if you have an issue with any of them, to let me know. Now, let's look at number 2 here. Can someone read this? Can someone try reading this? It's not voweled, but so this does not have an Hamza. Okay, so just Hamza to wasl. Anyone? Okay, so I'm just gonna read that. Since no one is ready. We have اقرأ كل جملة. اقرأ. Yeah? Yes, someone's right?
اقرأ كل جملة من الجمل الآتية ثم اقرأها أخرى بعد تغير المنادي كما هو موضوع في المثال.
Okay, Barakallah Fik. Yeah, you see, this is why I want us to try reading it. Barakallah Fik tried. So I pick out 2 mistakes. We have this and this one. And it's expected to have these mistakes because you don't know yet. When we get into verb, you know the soulful of every verb. How do you change a verb to a masdar and all of that? Okay, so by the time we get into more of verbs, you'll understand how to read most words because you already know the pattern in which they come in. So barakallahu fik to our sister. اقرأ كل جملة من الجمل الآتية. This jumal is a plural of a jumla. ثم اقرأها. Let's try to connect words. So it's wrong to say ثم اقرأها. It's not professional. ثم اقرأها. Okay, so let's take note of that. ثم اقرأها أخرى. أخرى here is the complete version is مرة أخرى. مرة أخرى. Now, this مرة أخرى, أخرى is supposed to be sifa for مرة. مرة. It's a word that denotes time, how many times something is done. So the marra is removed because it is understood when you replace the not with the. So these are cases where your not, your sifa can replace the man'ut. There are times when you can remove the man'ut, and you leave the sifa there, yeah. So there are times when something like that can be done. And this is an example right here. Okay, so ثم اقرأها أخرى, read one more time, another time. بعد تغيير, this is تغيير. بعد تغيير المنادى, after you change the munada is a noun that is being called. After you change the munada, كما هو موضح, as it is explained, كما هو موضح في المثال. Okay, so let's take note of that. كما هو موضح في المثال. Now, you see, the reason why you have to take most of this thing important properly. I remember, long years ago when we were still learning, most of these things, right? Before we went to madrasa or something like that. So we studied all of these ourselves. Yeah, I did all of this. I studied them, got different books, go to stars and, learn some basic things. But I did these myself. For these books, I studied them myself. No one taught me. So because I love reading. I go through everything. I've been learning Nahu, Sorfu, pump by myself, right? I got someone who taught me, then I start reading, myself. Okay, so the start taught me probably part one and part two of just part one of the book of Sorful Wadi, which was, I think I've recited something now, but what I'm trying to say this, to encourage you anyway. So I got reading myself, since I got the basics, I just start reading books, and all of that. So, and I did all of this book myself. I read everything. Now, when I was going to enroll myself to a madrasa, because I had to, uh, I was like, okay, I have a little time on my sleeves. Let me go to madrasa properly. Then I enrolled myself there, and the ustaz there, he wanted to test us, and I went with a few other brothers, and so they said, okay, let's see what you can do, so we know where to put you, whether you know, a daddy, or whether Thanawiya and all of that. Okay, so and then we were tested with this book. There were no haraka, right? And so and then the ustaz just open anyway and say, read this. And then I was reading like it was nothing. Yeah, I was because I already did this myself. I already studied the books. I already know what was there. I learned some of the rules of tajweed and all of that. Can speak Arabic a little bit, but not with confidence. You understand that? So I just read these like it was nothing. So, but some of the brothers we went, they were struggling with it, and so I was put at. I think I was put at. Is this Thani al-Mutawassit? I think Mutawassit, and it's just a class. A class. I have a class to go to, Thanawiya, because So if you they believe that if you can read this, it's not vowel. So the fact that you can read this, it means you've learned more than just basics, right? You've learned the verbs, you've learned this and that, so you know what to put in. And so, and other than that, so what I just said this just to get you motivated, start reading, practice a lot of times. So because you don't know where you find yourself, this program, right? It's a foundational program, yeah, and it's something if you put effort in it, you might have a chance to get tested somewhere. Maybe you want to further, you want to do something. So you are not a beginner anymore. You may have chance to go to Saudi Arabia and then they want to kind of like test you. I don't know. So, but the fact that you have this knowledge, the fact that you practice, the fact that you have a good hedge, yeah. So, like I've always said, this program is 1 year. Arabic is wide. You cannot learn everything in 1 year. I'm saying that. You cannot learn everything in 1 year, but you learn enough to say, okay, yes, I can pick an Arabic book and read myself. I can understand the rules of this, rules of that. So you can develop on your own, get books and all of that. I mean, and you read conveniently, you speak conveniently. That's if you put more effort, beyond the classrooms. All right. So the class is to facilitate the language for you, to facilitate the study. So your own is to develop yourself based on what you've learned, ask questions, and it's an avenue to make yourself developed. Okay, so please, let's put in effort. Let's try ourselves. Let's have the thirst for knowledge the way I did. I must tell you, when I was learning, have the thirst for knowledge so much that I wish that I just wake up Sunday, I'll sleep at night, and I wake up the next morning and start speaking Arabic. And I swear by Allah, it was as though I just wake up and start speaking it. Why? Because of the personal development and all of that. Reading books, every book, any book say about grammar, I just get my hands on it and start reading it. And so by the time I found someone to teach me or get into madrasa, it was very easy, yeah. And so that's how it is. So please, this is an avenue for you to develop yourself, to do better than others, and then ask questions, learn further, and then you get there. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy. Okay, so let's move on. Now we understand what this question is all about. اقرأ كل جملة من الجمل الآتية ثم قرأها أخرى بعد تغيير المنادى كما هو مضبوط. So there's something we are taught to do. You read this jumla from among the following jumlas, sentences. ثم قرأها أخرى, then you read one more time بعد تغيير, after changing Al-munada. The munada is, we're going to talk about that also, inshallah. Al-munada is the object that is being called. Kama wa mawdu, as we have it. Now let's look at that. Mithal. أين قلمك يا أبي؟ يا حرف النداء. حرف النداء is ya. And then we have Abi, which is the object that is being called. We have al-munada. Where is the pen, my father? أين قلمك يا أمي? Where is your pen, or my mother? There's something wrong here. Mithal. أين قلمك يا أبي? Right? It's supposed to be أين قلمك يا أمي. Is that taken? So, where is your pen,
Yes.
or my mother? Okay. Now, so we have here عندك قلم يا محمد. عندك قلم يا محمد. Now, initially, Muhammadun is what we have. Muhammadun. But the moment you had ya, you have to remove one of these tanween. Okay, so عندك قلم يا محمد. So عندك قلم يا آمنة. You know, this is always like that, يا آمنة. أين بيتك يا أستاذي؟ أين بيتك يا أستاذتي? Now, this is what you're supposed to do. We have masculine at this side. You're expected to change everything to feminine at this side. Yeah? So let's get that doing. Let's do that. Now we have a Aina Baytuka Ya Ustadi. And this is gonna be Aina Baytuki Ya Ustadati. Now I want someone to do number 3. Let's do that quickly. Ahada.
هذا الدفتر لك يا علي.
Yeah, Ahada.
هذا دفتر لك يا فاطمة.
Ya Fatima too. Okay. Ahada Daftaru Laka Ya Ali. Ya Ali, you take note of that. Initially it is Aliyun, but the moment you have Ya, you remove one of the tanween. So Ya Ali, you. أهذا الدفتر لك يا علي يا علي or يا علي, and so we go like هذا الدفتر لك يا فاطمة too, right? So we are doing, okay, let's go. من أين, let's undo this. Yeah,
من أين أنت يا أخي؟
yeah.
من أين أنت يا أختي؟
من أين أنت يا أختي. من أين أنت يا أخي. Okay, so yes, أين. Sister Fatima, you got to read this. Let me see whether you've corrected it. So, because you made a mistake here the other time, but now can you read it? Aina what? Yeah, Sister Mutia, I mean to say, not Fatima. Yeah, Sister Mutia.
أين أبوك يا خالد؟
Yeah, Khalid. Yeah?
يا خالد.
Yeah, but we have one single dom. Ya Khalidu, or you say Ya Khalid. Aina Abuka, Ya Khalid. Yeah, this is gonna be what? Aina?
أين أبوك يا خديجة؟ خدي خديجة.
Oh yes. Aina Abuki, Khadijatu, Ya Khadijatu. Okay, so we have this. Anta maridun ya khali. Are you sick? My khal. Khal is who? What is, when you say somebody is a khal, who is that person? Khali. It is actually khalun. Yeah. Just like ammun. Yeah. Ammun.
Yeah. Is it maternal uncle?
Oh yes. So khal is maternal uncle. Okay. And ammu is paternal uncle. Khal, your mommy's uncle. I mean your mommy's brother, or your mommy's sister, your mommy's brother, or yeah, younger brother, or your mom's elder brother. Okay, so that is your uncle from your mom's side. That's what we intend to say. Why Ammo is your uncle from your dad's side. Okay, now that's understood. Okay, so we can leave this. I think that's understood already. Now we have here Annif. Annif al-fa'ila. Take note, this is sukun, but if you pronounce on it, you change it to, because of iltiqa'u sakine, this lam has a sukun. So the two sukuns are meeting. So you got to make it a kasra. Annif al-fa'ila fi kullin min al-jumal al-atiyah. Make feminine, effeminize the fa'il, the doer. Make the dua a feminine, that is untha, fi kullin, from everything, min al-jumal al-atiyah, from each. In this case, when you say kullin, each. So make all the verbs in each of the sentences, right? The following sentences. So you effeminize the fa'il, the dua, in each kullin. It will be meaning each, one, each of them. Because that's what we are each in this case. So each of the following sentence. So kharaja Muhammadun min al-bayt. Muhammad went out of the house. Now when it is feminine, you say kharajat. This one of the alamatul fi'l al-mad. Alamatu al-fi'l al-madi. One of the signs of feminine is this ta. Okay? Ta تاء التأنيث الساكنة. Okay? تاء التأنيث الساكنة. So a feminine ta with a sukun. Okay? So خرجت آمنة من البيت. So when we get to verb properly, you know this. خرجت. ذهب المدرس إلى الفصل. So for feminine now, can someone form this to a feminine somebody? ذهب المدرس إلى الفصل. Yeah, the teacher went out of the class. Went to the class. That's the masculine teacher. So it's going to be what now? Yeah, what's it going to be if you have this?
ذهبت المدرس إلى الفصل.
Yeah, al-mudarrisu is feminine, is masculine actually. All you need to do is make it feminine. We'll talk about how to make singular feminine. Those are the signs. So you have not made mudarrisu. Al-mudarrisu, you have not changed it to a feminine. So what is it going to be? Yes, how do you make it? Al-mudarris is teacher, masculine. How does it become a feminine?
المدرسة.
Exactly. Can you say that again?
المدرسة.
No, it is not. Can it happen like that? Do you say al-mudarrisatun? Al-mudarrisatun? Yeah. Is it al-mudarrisatun or al-mudarrisatu?
المدرسة.
Thank you. Please take note of that. That is pronunciation. It's important. Please always take note of your MFP. Okay? MFP. Pronunciation. Okay. So you cannot have alif and lam and still have tanween at the same time. It can never be. Okay. خرجت آمنة من البيت. ذهب المدرسة إلى الفصل. So we say ذهبت المدرسة من البيت. You had it. ذهب أبي إلى المستشفى. So how do you say my father went to the hospital? How do you say my mom went to the hospital? Anyone else? This is preparing us ahead of the verb time when we get to verb or something like that. So let's take our time to make use of it. by the time we get to an intermediate class, that's something around March. By January, we have a final examination by the end of January. So we have February for break and assignment, projects. All right. So, and then when we resume by March, which is going to be, and luckily for us, Ramadan is starting February, something 17 or 18. So we have that time to take a break, but we are resuming in March again, which is still going to be Ramadan time. So which means you will likely have to switch our time. The one we had 8:30, we probably will be having it 9 by Ramadan time. Everyone should be done with Tarawih by 9, hopefully. But whatever it is, if we cannot start intermediate class by March because of Ramadan, we may start mid-March. Because by mid-March, maybe March 20, we should be done with everything regarding the fasting and the Eid al-Fitr. So maybe we start again by March 20. But what I'm trying to say is that we start learning verb per se when we get to the intermediate class. So, but this is preparing us ahead of the class, inshallah. Okay, so we have ذهب أبي إلى المستشفى. So we have جلس الطالب في الفصل. Yeah. So I'm asking, how do you say my mom went to the hospital?
ذهبت أمي إلى المستشفى.
Yes, ذهبت أمي إلى المستشفى. جلس الطالب في الفصل.
جلست طالبة في الفصل.
بارك الله فيك. جلست الطالبة. Take note. جلست الطالبة. You have to make it a كسرة. يا خرج أخي من البيت.
خرجت أختي من البيت.
خرجت أختي من البيت. Okay. Now that's what we have that. Now this number 4 is تأمل ما يلي. تأمل ما meditate what is for the following. جلست الطالبة, and they gave us this little kasra here just to show what I mentioned earlier. جلست الطالبة, because of the sukun here. So we have iltiqa with sakinain. So the sukun here will be sacrificed, and you give it the kasra so you can connect it. جلست الطالبة. جلست الطالبة. Okay. So that's what we have there. So the sukun changes to a kasra for easy pronunciation and for easy connection. Now, اقرأ الجمل. Now, this is what happened here. This is اقرأ, and we have الجمل here. So you cannot say اقرأ الجمل. You say اقرأي. You give it a kasra. اقرأ الجمل الآتية. Okay, let's read. Manil what? Please just see that. That's why I asked for fatatu. I've mentioned what this fata now already. So man what?
من الفتى.
Yeah.
من الفتى الذي خرج من بيتك.
Is it
أنا.
بيتك? Is it going to be min بيتك? Min. We talk about min.
من بيتك أبي من بيتك.
Yes, min بيتك. I think we talk about harf al-jar, even though we just maybe slightly, but we talk about it in our fundamental lessons. Ala fi min is going to give you a word a kasra. Your noun, a singular noun is going to give a kasra. Min بيتك الآن. Yes, هو ابن.
هو ابن.
Yeah, how do you put it? هو ابن what?
أما.
No, we did this. We came across this already. This is me. Yes,
Okay.
I think I talked about it earlier when I was maybe you were not listening when I was talking about cousin. Okay, so wabnu ammi, wabnu ammi. Okay, so let's take that. Wabnu ammi. Yeah, sister Mukia, can you read this? I guess she's left. Okay, maybe she's got another problem.
Me
Okay.
now?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I thought you left. Yes.
من الفتاة فتاة
It's not Mina. This is not going to be Mina. It's not Mina here.
من الفتاة
It's not Mana as well. We have man. The word is man. Yeah. So when you
من
have man and you have alif lam, that's what we just talked about now. So what will happen? We have man and we have al-fatatu. What's going to happen to this for you to be able to read it?
من
Yes, that's what happened here. It changes to the sukun changes to kasra and the presence of alif lam. Manil, yes, manil.
فتاة
Yeah.
فتاة التي خرجت
Yeah.
من بيتك
There is no minal there.
من
There's no alif lam. There's no, you don't say minal. There's no alif lam in the, we have beitika. We have beituka here. So don't say minal.
من
It says, yeah, min
بيتك بيتك
min beitik.
بيتك
Yeah.
أنا أنيل يا محمد
There's no need. There is no ani. I just mentioned what it is earlier. Al what? Al ana. It always has a fatha. Al ana. And I mentioned that if you remove this alif lam, it becomes a verb. Ana. Bimana hana. So al-ana, it's always like that. Al-ana, so it's always with the fatha. Yeah. Min baytika al-ana. Yes, can you please correct that?
من بيتك الآن
Yeah. Ya
يا
Muhammad.
محمد يا
Yes, here.
محمد
Yeah, here.
يا بيت قل
Ya bintu kho. Yeah, kho what?
قلت
Yeah, khalati. Can you please repeat that?
قلت
Khalati.
قالتي
Yes, here bintu khalati. So what does that mean? She's who? Yeah, what is khalati?
أنت
Yeah, aunt, right? So the yes, it means aunt or your auntie. So your auntie from whose side? Father or mother side?
from the father side
No, no. There's a difference between ammatun, ammatun, that's auntie, your auntie. Your auntie from your father's side. Ammun, your uncle from your father's side. But khalun, your uncle from your mother's side. And khalatun is your aunt or your auntie from your mother's side. This is maternal auntie, maternal uncle, and this is paternal auntie, and this is paternal uncle. Yes, please take note of that. Now, so she said here, bintu khalati, she's my cousin. That this is my auntie's daughter. My auntie from my mother's side. Please take note of that. Do you understand that? Please write it down. Khalun, uncle from your mother's side. Khalatun, aunt from the mother's side. Ammun and Ammatun, they are both uncle and auntie from your mother's side. Is that taken from your father's side? Now, number 3, لمن المفتاح الذي على المكتب هو للمدرس. Whose is the key that الذي المكتب that is on the table هو للمدرس. So this is اسم الموصول الذي التي. This is what they want us to learn. That's why they are underlining it. They want us to learn اسم موصول. Okay, they are اسم الموصول, which we are going to learn that. We are going to learn the grammar aspect of it in our grammar lesson, but this is the usage. This is the application. You use الذي with a معرفة, because a معرفة too. لمن المفتاح المفتاح الذي. You don't say لمن مفتاح. And most of us makes that mistake when you're speaking Arabic. You don't say لمن مفتاح. You know this is مفتاح, right? You don't say لمن مفتاح الذي. No. مفتاح is a nakra. You don't know it. لمن مفتاح على الكرسي. You don't say الذي. Are we together? لمن الساعة التي على السرير. If it's without this, you don't say لمن. If without لمن ساعة. لمن ساعة على الكرسي. However, you know, sometimes you don't even. It's not even necessary to say لمن ساعة. Yeah. And because you see that it is already there, so you say liman is sa. Whose is the watch? You know, allati. This one is most correct. Yeah. So, but you say I saw a watch. رأيت ساعة على الكرسي. You don't say رأيت ساعة الذي على الكرسي. Do you understand that? I saw a watch that is on the table. You know, that's maybe in English. You can say I saw a watch that is on the table. But in Arabic, you say, I saw رأيت ساعة على الكرسي. You don't say that. You don't put الذي there because it's not معرفة. Are we getting it? Now, so that's one of the uses. هي للزوج أختي. أكمل الجمل الآتية بوضع اسم موصول مناسب. الذي التي في الفراغ. أكمل الجمل. Complete the sentence. Yeah? Complete the what? The sentence. We've taken beyond normal time, so we stop now. Now, this is going to be our assignment. أكمل الجمل التي. Complete the sentences, the following sentences, by putting اسم موصول مناسب, the appropriate اسم موصول, الذي and التي. This is to be submitted, please. So let's do that. الكتاب الداش على المكتب للمدرس. القلم داش في حقيبة مكسورة. السيارة الداش خرجت. الكلب داش. الفتى داش. تلك البطة. الفتى. So please let's do 1 to 10. All right. So 1 to 10 is an assignment. Now العم أخو الأب. العمة أخت الأب. Okay, this is for father. أب. الخال أخو الأم. This is for mother. الخالة أخت الأم. الفلاح, and then so we see that. Now please let's do this 1 to 10 assignment as an assignment to be submitted, please. So I think you understand the question. Do you understand the question? You put the appropriate, whether a levy or a leti, and observe the way it is used. Okay, everything that it is used after, they are already ma'arifa. You can see that they are already ma'arifa. So please, let's take note. Any question before we move on, before we end the lesson? Any question? Okay, so in the absence of no question.
Please, I want to ask, why
Yeah.
should I be married before Aleti or Alevi?
Yeah, because Alevi and Aleti are themselves a ma'arifa. They are themselves a ma'arifa. And basically what they are doing is they are like adjective. They are, doing the work of adjective for that noun that comes before them. That's a beautiful question. Okay, they are ismu. They are noun themselves. Ismu mawsul. They are nouns. Okay, so automatically, mostly your noun is going to be depending on how you use it. But the simple answer is al-kalbu. Okay, and we have al-ladhi, for example. So al-ladhi is a sifa for al-kalb. Is that right? So al-kalbu is mawsuf, al-ladhi is a sifa. So, it's working as a sifa for al-kalb. Is that right?
Yes.
So automatically, al-ism al-mawsul. It is al-mawsul. It is connecting this sentence with this sentence, with this word. So alladhi in between is actually qualifying al-kalbu here. So, it must go. And we said that when you are doing your sifa mawsuf, if your mawsuf is ma'rifa, your sifa must be ma'rifa. If your mawsuf is nakira, your sifa must. So that's why you cannot say kitabun alladhi. You cannot say kitabun alladhi. Kitabun, and you say alladhi. No, it doesn't work. Yeah? Okay, so because it's not a ma'rifa. Is that taken? So if you are
Yes.
saying kitabun alladhi, then in it automatically it's going to be kitabul ladhi. That is the book of the person who. The book of who. That it becomes a ma'rifa. It becomes mudaf and mudaf ilayh. If you find a sentence like this, right, then you have to read it as sifa, as idafa. So kitabul ladhi. Okay, kitabul ladhi. When you have something like this, know that it's not a sifa mawsuf. So you cannot never read this as kitabun. No, because it's not. This is not a sifa for it. It's a nakra. This is a ma'rifa. So they don't work as sifa mawsuf. So what you are doing is you just read it as kitabul ladhi. It's going to be idafa. That is the book of who. Yeah, kitabul ladhi ra'ayt. The book of who I saw, and that's what it means. Okay, is that that's a beautiful question. Is that taken already?
Yes.
Okay, barakallah fiqh. Any further question? All right, so in the absence of no question, so we end the lesson and I say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.